when we analyze the true history of the world in great depth and great detail, we come to the conclusion that our ancestors must have been a lot wiser than we perceive. Or if that's not the case, then perhaps extraterrestrial brothers and sisters have visited the planet in our history and we are simply unaware of it. Both of these cases make of an interesting ancestral or human history on our planet. Our ancestors seem to know a lot or attain a lot of information. We can see this because of the structuring and the placement of ancient monuments all around the world. There are monuments and structures today that are being built, and we still don't know to this day and age how they were built and why. An example of this is the Great Pyramid in Giza, Stonehenge in the United Kingdom. There are monuments in South America, places like Peru. And so we don't know why these structures were built. However, what we do know is that the locations they were built in, the locations that were chosen for these ancient monuments to reside on, are places that are higher in energy, frequency, and vibration on Earth. And so we are talking about our ancestors having had the knowledge of places on Earth that were higher in vibration. Well, how are you supposed to know if a place is higher in vibration unless you have a piece of technology which can show you the vibration or the frequency in that specific place? And so again, perhaps our ancestors had advanced technology unless they were simply able to feel with their consciousness or with their souls, with their spirits, that that particular place was where they should build. But if that was the case, then again we are talking about human beings who were more advanced than we are. And so it seems that perhaps human beings don't know the full extent of their human history. What's also interesting about our ancestors is that they seem to know a lot about sacred geometry. How do we know this? We see sacred geometry absolutely everywhere. We see it in symbols, we see it in architecture, we see sacred geometry everywhere we go, and so we can't run away from sacred geometry. We certainly can't run away from the fact that sacred geometry is an important aspect of our existence here on Earth. However, what's more interesting is that our ancestors seem to know this. And we know this because models of the Platonic solids were found, and when archaeologists conducted their research, they stated that these Platonic solids were made 2 billion years ago here on Earth, which predates any human history that we are aware of. And so perhaps human beings had advanced technology and were able to form models of the Platonic solids 2 billion years ago. Our ancestors knew about sacred geometry 2 billion years ago. That's very interesting. What's also interesting is that we now know that the shape of the Merkaba, or the Star of David, emanates in the form of light from every single atom. But the shape of the Merkaba, or the Star of David, is also seen across many ancient texts and traditions in the world. Many ancient religions, many ancient mystery school teachings hold the Star of David with importance. And so we see the Star of David or the Merkaba everywhere. How did our ancestors, or did our ancestors, know that every single atom emanates in the shape of the Merkaba? Well, perhaps so. And if that's the case, again, we are talking about an extremely important aspect of human history that we are yet to understand.